What's going on, Internet family? How's everybody doing? I got a treat for y'all today. We got Mr. B on the couch.
Let's go. Mr. B on the couch. we actually have an unreleased song called Mr. B on the couch.
Hey, man. You know, I started writing last night because I got inspired.
Nice. Did you?
Yeah.
After the show?
Yeah. Let's see. What was
pretty
it?
late at night then, wasn't
it?
Like 4 a.m. this morning? 3 a.m.?
It's been a long slog, but I'm still going whole hog. I can't remember what.
Hey.
Oh, write that down in the captain's log.
Hey, there you go. Nice. What's up? My name is Blake. Mr. B is what I rap under. I'm from the Tribal Hoos, 7-piece hip-hop jam band based out of Nashville, Tennessee. The Hoos Moose, you might recognize that. And I perform under the name Mr. B as my solo act as well.
So are you on tour right now?
I'm not. I just played a show last night here in Birmingham at the Nick with Tragic City.
That was awesome.
Tommy Trumpet's my guy. He's the one who called me. All those dudes in Tragic City are awesome. They are like great musicians and great dudes. So I had a lot of fun, and it reminded me of playing with the Tribal Who's show because they're funky, man. And
yeah, you guys were vibing.
Right. So it really felt natural, and I think that's what made it a great show.
Yeah.
But I'm not on like a tour. It was just a one show, and I'm heading back today to Nashville after this.
So I missed your set because I was kind of skipping around to different gigs last night. So we started out at Ghost Train with Diner, which is like a widespread cover band from Birmingham, and then I went to see the Blackfoot Gypsies at Saturn, and they're killer. They're from Nashville.
Okay, nice.
They're
dope.
solid.
Awesome.
Check
all of them out.
Yeah, definitely. But how did your set go?
Dude, killer. It was dope. I feel like I did a good job breaking the ice as the opening act, and with me not playing with the band, it was my solo set. I wasn't with the Hoos last night, so it was just me playing beats. It was a lot more hip-hop, a little more rap-heavy, but I kicked a freestyle second song in because that really breaks the ice every time. No matter if I'm playing with the Hoos or solo, once you do a freestyle and start rapping about the moment, the city, what the people are wearing, like what's going on, it just breaks the ice, the smiles come out more, and then I really had the crowd after that. I did probably 7 songs, but I think it was so much better because the previous show I had played, I did a lot of rehearsed songs before I got to my freestyle, and I felt like I really win people over with the freestyle. So last night I got to it within the second song, and the rest of the show ever since then went great. And then the few times I hopped on stage with Tragic City, they brought me on stage 4 times. I kicked freestyles with them every time, and it was dope. Those guys are awesome. It was a lot of fun. And it was a good crowd. It was a Halloween, so everyone was wearing costumes. But it was a great set, honestly.
Absolutely.
It went good. I realized I love playing with a band as well because I don't run out of breath nearly as much when I'm performing by myself, when it's just me rapping. So it kind of makes me think
you can rely on them to fill space and make shapes, and then you can just punctuate it.
Absolutely. And then just let it breathe more versus when you're the only one on stage, you have to do all the entertaining, all the talking. You can't let someone else take the mic or take the spotlight for a second and do a solo. But nonetheless, it's still a great set, and I learned a lot from it, and I think that's the most important thing. Now, when I go back and write new songs, I want to consider, how will this translate live? Because it's easy to just get caught up in, this as a record, which is totally fine, but I also want to consider some songs, how this be live, especially if it's, more of, an upbeat song, I don't want to have long-ass verses, I need to, I don't run out of breath that way at a show.
It's kind of like punk bands. They have a 45-second long song where it's just boom, hit it hard. And
exactly.
Okay, that's it.
or my song Rule Number 1. That song bumps well live, and it's a good song recording wise too. But it's only eight bar verses, and then it's back to the hook, and it's easy, and that just lets it breathe so well. And especially in a live show, any person who's a member of an audience is instantly more distracted. They're less versus a listener who has headphones on. They're more paying attention to what's being said versus someone in a crowd. So I can't expect them to catch every word I'm saying on stage. So therefore, I feel I need to have almost play my rests just as well as my notes, and
the improvisation,
boom.
You can see it in people. You can see people's eyes light up.
Yeah.
And them take when you freestyle.
Yeah.
I saw that at the Trim Tab show, where that realization of when you say something like, "Look at this girl over here," everybody looks.
Drinking her beer.
Yeah, there you go. Because it's kind of like when, someone gets in a fight, everyone turns because it's happening right now.
Right now. And dude, that's what people want, like there's so many, especially living in Nashville and even just being here in the South, like Alabama has a lot of great musical talent. I'm so curious on like, can you grip a crowd though, just in between songs? Like I expect the song that you've rehearsed to be good. Like I expect that to be good. But outside of that, can you still grasp my attention? Like if you jam, if you improvise, and in between songs, that's even an improvisation when you're talking to the audience, when you kind of like gel with them. That's an improvisation as well. So like I'm big on, kind of just gripping the crowd, man. It's like, what are we here for? Like, we're not just here so you can hear my music. We're here to connect and have a good time. And if that means me talking more about the moment and what's going on, which typically it does, then that's okay. And then we got songs that are rehearsed to then pump and bang, and we'll hit those and then we'll go back to the freestyles. And I think a good balance of all that is what makes a good show. And that's like my recipe with shows. Like I will always kick a freestyle. Like you won't see me perform whether I'm solo or with the Hoos. You won't see a Mr. B set without me freestyling because it's necessary. It's like it rounds out the performance. But those are, that's just my belief.
Absolutely. Do you
and I'm able to do that. That's my gift too. Not everyone, like people tell me they're not able.
It's a muscle.
For sure. I
think
everyone
exercise it.
Absolutely. And I think if you tell yourself you can't do it, then you're right. You can't. Like, tell yourself you can do it, and you can.
Oh yeah, definitely about confidence.
Straight up.
I mean, just being on stage.
Self-talk.
I remember when I was a kid, like I was terrible at public speaking. I'd get up in front of the class and stuff, and I'd be shaking, like you could hear it in my voice.
Yeah.
And when I got older, I forced myself like to hop on stage and live paint with bands and stuff like that, and it got to the point where we had a big art show. And I emceed the whole thing.
Nice.
I'd hop up on stage, announce the next act, tell everybody, bathroom's over there, make sure you tip your bartenders, and it's weird to have 300 people stare at you, but it almost makes you more confident than if it was like 10,
Absolutely. My buddy has worked in the service industry for years, and that has made him a lot more confident working with people.
I did work retail for
that.
many years, so that
for sure
would change it.
Yeah, just force yourself to like have conversations with people, and like you'll naturally you can get better at it.
Well, and that we were talking about festivals, making new friends.
Right.
Like that's really a huge, groundbreaking thing. Yeah, Kugaraka.
Oh no, absolutely! How important festivals are for like people to have that release, from like everyday life. They need to get out of their own city. They need like
Well, if you're walking down the sidewalk in Birmingham, if you were to stop someone and be like, "Hey, want to be friends? What do you do? What's your name?" It would be weird. But if you're at a festival, you can just be like, "Hey, who the hell are you? Want to be friends?"
People are more willing to help out their fellow person at a festival than just like in the city.
Or just like distractions, less distractions.
Yeah.
I go see live music a lot, and I was talking about this last night. I don't know if you ever went to the Bottle Tree, but it was amazing. Their booking was so solid. They would get people to come here that Alabama never on their tour list ever.
Okay.
And so they started coming more regularly. But the crowd was like real hipster.
Okay.
So they were all like too cool for school. So they'd be standing there listening to somebody kill it on stage.
Right.
And they're just like...
But they wouldn't show it, yeah.
And I'd be like, yeah! And they're just like, who's this guy?
You know what, though? They'll probably never tell you it, but they might appreciate the fuck out of you. Like man, shout out that dude. I wish I could be loose like him.
I've been at shows before where no one's moving, and one person will just start dancing, and then 10 minutes later, the whole crowd's like...
Dude, watch the video by Derek Sievers, who actually started CD Baby. It's called How to Start a Movement. I think it was a TED Talk.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, and it's a dude at a music festival who dances, and it starts with him by himself crazy, then he dances with one guy, one becomes two, he treats him like an equal, which is very important. You can't, act better,
Sure.
Because that second dude makes you go from being a lone crazy nut to, you know, look at that crazy guy. Hey, look at these guys. What's going on over here?
Why are they having more fun than I am?
Exactly. 2 becomes 4, 5, 6, and then before you know it, this man, dude, watch the video. It's actually insane. You guys should watch this video. You should tag it if this is going to go on YouTube. You have to. It'll be so dope. And timestamp it too.
I'll show clips too. So
because it's people on the side of the mountain dancing.
If you ever want somebody to watch something, just be like, look at this. And I'll put it in there.
You can do
or
that.
like, just be like, look to the right, see this guy right here.
That's extra effort, but I like it.
That's killer.
For sure. I like it. What else would you like to talk about with the people? I wish we could actually hear what the listener is thinking, so we could like make it a 3-way. But what do you think, man? What do you want to talk about?
Well,
what was your goal?
I got a couple of things written down.
Yeah.
First off, I want everyone to go watch all of these new music videos that you've made.
Thank you. Pretty Rich, Wonka,
you've been
Mr.
working,
B.
you know?
Yes, thank you. That's 2 music videos in 3 months.
Yeah.
With my boy Nick Jones. He just moved to LA, but shout out Nick Jones. We went to Belmont together.
What's the production like on that? Is that fun to do?
Dude, so much fun. We're both skateboarders. We're both chill. And so, like, we work really well together. You know, like, we'll just hang out. I'll play him a song or play him 3 or 4 songs, and he'll kind of sit and listen to them. And he'll be like, I like that one the most.
Storyboarding in his head of different scenes and stuff.
And it always starts with, like, what song do you like the most? Like, I don't want you to work on a video if you don't even fuck with the song.
Yeah.
You know, you got to like the music. So, like, it really starts with that. And I'm kind of down to do, I only bring him songs that I'd be down to do a video for to begin with, and then whichever one he's most excited about, we go from there. But it's funny, when you just go outside into life and start living, you start seeing locations that you'll start shooting at. We saw a fire truck go by us that was giving people a tour in Nashville, and that's how we got the fire truck. The dude Danny and his dog, the guy driving in the convertible in the Wonka Mr. B music video, we saw him at Sonic. Me and him were at Sonic planning like the video, like coming up with ideas, and we saw this dude like 2 lanes next to us with his dog. The dog had a mohawk, and his like blue convertible just had a cool look to it. And Nick's like, yo, go talk to him, go see if he'd want to be in the video. So I hop out, and I was like, yo, we're filming a music video here soon, like probably, you know, like in a week or 2. Like, would you want to be in a music video? You and your dog have a cool vibe to it. It ended up being his roommate's dog, but the dog's name was Ben. But he's like, absolutely. But that's how a lot of our videos came together, though. Nonetheless, it's just like, hey, let's film a video. Like, we'd have an idea for one location, and it's funny, the initial location we had, I don't even think we used, but like, by going to that location, we then saw the fire truck go by, or then went to Sonic afterwards and saw him. So it's funny, you just got to take the first step, because that might not necessarily be the clutch step, but it could like put you like in the new direction for the next step that then does like you go on to do something with. You know?
That's so. You're full time thinking about that sort of stuff. That's how I am with my mural company. So I'll be cruising in some area, and I'll be like, I'd never come over here, and I'll see a building. I'll be like, that wall needs a mural, and then I'll take a picture and come home and make a proposal, and then approach them and be like, hey, you know, you have an awesome wall, right? And that's how it's going so far.
Good for you, bro. And you're actually doing that. You're actually hitting them with the proposal,
like,
bro. That's what it's about. Execution.
And I mean, I was at the Nick last night. Just like everywhere I go now is like a potential, you know, mural. Because
I feel that
the Nick has a wall that sort of faces.
I feel like cities need to incorporate more street art and murals into the city, like good, well done street art. You know, art that like your average person who's not into graffiti could still appreciate. Like, that's still a cool piece of art.
Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, they got a bunch of cool.
Shout out ALDOT, A-L-D-O-T, Alabama Department of Transportation.
Nice.
Underneath every single overpass, you know, it's all beautifully manicured murals, you know, with lighting. It makes it safer, not just water-damaged concrete, you know. It's not, I don't know. Nice. I think curated spaces garner more respect.
For sure.
You know?
Cities need that. Speaking of, on those music videos, I have behind-the-scenes videos coming out for at least Wonka, and hopefully Pre-Rich too. I need to make those, because I feel like that's really cool. That's where you really will get to know my personality, same with like a podcast like this. Because in a music video, you really don't get to know me. You know, it's just like a video. But behind the scenes, I feel like I want to tell people how much it cost. Here's some facts. Here's how the video came together. And it just makes it more human and real of like, okay, like I can do that too. Or like,
absolutely.
That's how that came together. Like that's an interesting story, you know?
And it's usually more relatable than you think it will be.
Absolutely.
You know? Because when somebody tells you, oh, you know, I've run a huge company or something like that, well, they also had to hoof it around and get investors and like...
It didn't come easy.
Yeah, I mean, you had to like come up with a business plan that looks like it'll work and get someone who has money to finance you, to believe in you, and
Dude,
to have confidence in that.
I agree. I just read the book Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, the dude who started Nike. If you haven't read it, it's a great book. If you're a reader, it's awesome. It's the truest look. It's the truest look at entrepreneurship that I've ever seen, like in writing. Like you realize that for 18 years, Nike was on the brink of. I mean, like it was. Although it was making a lot of money, they were spending so much, you know, just to keep up with the growth and the demand. That so many times this company almost went under, and you realize they were just as delicate as your homeboy's clothing company right now, or you know, like. Just as small time at one time, you know, they were just a small company run by a group of people.
Well, that's like Jewel, you know, like Jewel is having to do layoffs, and they're like, I don't know that much about it, but you think Jewel, it's like Tesla or you know Apple or something. It's like a big business that is super prosperous right now.
Right.
You know, you don't think about the adversity or the ups and downs and like the near misses, like everything completely imploding just because of one little thing.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So I watched Pre-Rich like 2 or 3 times in a row when it first came out.
Nice. Thank
I
you.
saw the Mac Miller one.
The tribute song.
The couple. Nice. I saw the ones that were animated with like the
lyric videos.
Astronaut guy.
Made by Visual Dawn. Shout out Visual Dawn.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he's kick ass. And then I added the text over to that.
That's good CGI.
For sure. No, he made those CGIs. Check out Visual Dawn. VisualDawn.uk is his website. There's so many great resources on the internet. Like you shouldn't be dependent on just one videographer, on just one graphic designer. On like there's so much talent out there, you know.
It's weird too how people undervalue themselves too, because you can go on like Fiverr, and someone's like, "I'll make you 3 logos for $10 in an hour." It's like you worked for a graphic design company, that'd be $10,000.
I just had my Instagram deleted actually because I sent too many DMs in one day. My Mr. B Inspire. My name on YouTube is youtube.com/Mr. B Inspire. It's just Mr. B, but that's where you can watch those music videos at. But I just got my Instagram deleted. I was at like over 2,000 followers and sent too many DMs in one day. I wasn't even copying and pasting. Possible? Dude, the worst part is it was me sending messages to everyone that liked my video. Everyone that liked it wasn't even like I was cold DMing people.
No, that's like,
people that thanks for liking the teaser to Pre-Rich. Here's the full length music video. But I would even type in their first name, like I'd look at who it was and type in their name, like, hey Gil, thanks for watching. And it's funny, I watched a Gary Vee video like a day before, and he's like, if you're an upcoming artist, you need to be sending as many DMs to people until your thumbs fall off, until Instagram blocks you. So I'm all like hyped up after watching this Gary Vee video, like, you're right. So I sent enough DMs in one day. Next day, no mess. The worst part is there's no like notification from them, no email, like, you know, like
they're these amorphous, faceless corporations that you can't get in touch with.
The next day it was gone. There wasn't a like, hey, your account has been banned. You can fight it. You can review it, because like, at least on YouTube or SoundCloud, if my songs ever get flagged for copyright infringement, they have a little button to like dispute it. There wasn't even a dispute, but there's none of that. So I currently, it's been over a month now, which is why at the end of the Wonka, it's been like 2 months, couple months, I don't even know, bro. Like at the end of the Wonka music video, I had to put at Mr. B for Prez as the at,
I saw that.
And now I only got like 400 followers, which is fine. I think I'm still gonna blow that that Instagram up. If anything, it's like, don't just have your eggs in one social media basket. That was like the big lesson, you know. Like, but
well, Instagram
and have
and
your own
Facebook,
website. You know, have your own website that someone can't take away from you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, you know, there's many examples of that. But my Instagram and Facebook are these just faceless, giant cyber.
We got Zuck. Zuck's got a face.
Well, it was surgically removed and put onto an Android, so it doesn't look the same anymore. But
nah, he seems.
When I started my company,
he seems sharp.
No, he doesn't.
He seems sharp. He seems sharp. Could be a robot. He seems sharp.
But when I made my company, my LLC, I got Magic City Mural Company on Instagram, and it was, I forgot the password, so I tried to recover it, and it was like, if you no longer have the email address, you're shit out of luck. Sorry, fuck you, basically. I was just like, okay, I guess I'm Magic City Mural Co. now.
Yeah. Is what it is.
But it's hilarious because I've had my personal art Instagram for years. I've got like 600 followers, but the mural company, I've only had it for a couple of months and it has like 200.
Dope. I was just thinking about like some models will be like, this is my only account. I only had only account. What their bios should say is like other account or like, you know, my brand account or my backup account or something, just so you got double the chances to post, double the types of followers, you know, and in case you put something out that Instagram takes down, because I realized that my situation wasn't all that rare. Once you start Googling on the internet, like my account was removed, I started reading about a bunch of other people's stories who theirs were removed for way less stuff. Like at least I was sending a lot of DMs, but I didn't even send 100. Like I sent less than 100 in a 24-hour window, which to me that's not even.
You should be able to send as many as you want.
Right. I mean, yeah. Honestly, fuck it. Like I get mail in my physical mail all the time or email. So that's one thing. It's I guess I'm gonna have to email everyone.
It must have
DM,
been it must have been 5 people reported it or something.
I could see that.
That would be the only way I could imagine. But who cares? You just press as red or block.
A couple.
Or
so get this. It was also, here's the worst part. It was at the same time that I sponsored my first Instagram post.
No! So you gave them money and then they...
Well, and then they deleted my Instagram mid-campaign. Where I'm like, so are you gonna charge me?
Me?
How does this work? I'm pretty sure I ended up getting charged fully, but it was you guys deleted my Instagram. I don't even...
Who are you gonna contact about that?
They don't care. Right. I mean, I need to really follow up with them more. I need to get in touch with them. I need to get in touch maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's like YouTube. You have to have 1 million followers to get on the phone with somebody. You know? Yeah.
We just got to make some dope shit. I guess, man, hustle. Keep hustling. Keep making dope shit, you know, and, man, don't just have one source of income. Don't just have one, channel that you're big on.
Yeah.
Diversify yourself.
My buddy Brian
You
Burks.
can start with one though, because sometimes you do have to start with one and really kill it. But idea wise, don't have all your shit in one basket.
Well, Brian Burks, his Facebook got deleted for some reason, and he lost pictures of his kids and shit. You know,
man, that sucks.
That's why I've got external hard drives.
Yeah,
just stacks and stacks of external hard drives, micro SD cards.
Yeah,
everything that I publish has got a hard copy somewhere.
27 terabytes.
Exactly. So Mr. B for president.
That's right. Get out and vote. 2020. I'm running for not president. So get this, man. I say that about running for prez, and people ask me, are you actually running for prez? Just last week, I worked a political conference. I set up a lot of conferences in Nashville. That's my side gig until music's paying the bills. Music pays about 25% of my income monthly right now, so the other 75% I substitute teach, and I set up corporate conferences mainly. And one of the conferences I set up last week was a political one. And for a couple days after working this, I'm sorry, I don't want anything to do with politics, in the sense of it's a bunch of people talking, yelling at each other, a bunch of angry, aggressive people. So I do it more from a marketing point of view. I'm a hip hop artist, I'm an entrepreneur.
You're an event planner.
Exactly, and I'm just using the comedy of politics and just the marketing, the branding of that, and using my own swag within it. Mr. B for Prez, it kind of works. The dollar bills, even the whole fact
you talk about the real issues more than they do.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm really addressing them with trying to address them with things I create, not just music. I'm talking products. I have a really I have this early product called Freestyles where it teaches kids about nouns and verbs.
Cool.
And adjectives and parts of speech in a hands-on way. It's these little word tiles, kind of like, think Scrabble tiles, but instead of them being letters, they're words.
Absolutely.
And each word is color-coded to its part of speech. So like verbs are red, nouns are white, you know, like each adverbs are purple. And anyway, you have kids, you give them different topics, and there's just a bunch of words on the table, and they create sentences with them, and a lot of the words rhyme. So like they're able to build rhymes and stuff out of it, but I don't know, that's just like a random, I know that's like an early on and it might not even address a whole lot of stuff, but some teachers have said that it really would help kids understand like different parts of speech and like how words work together and just like past, present, like tenses correctly and stuff like that. So
I was watching.
I'm trying to actually create things, not just, I don't want, like everyone knows there's a problem with education, but what are you doing about it?
You
need to stop talking about that there's a problem and actually start like creating solutions. So like just even though like freestyles is one small product, like the best way to complain is to make things.
Sure.
Like that's the entrepreneur in me is like quit talking about it and go do it. Like
let the free market handle it.
Exactly. And if no one's buying your shit, don't blame the people. Like you didn't make something that people like, or not enough people have heard of it.
Or it wasn't useful enough, you know.
Yeah, or maybe just it wasn't that crowd. You know, like I'm a big believer in just because that crowd wasn't feeling you doesn't mean you're not dope. Like maybe you're performing for the wrong crowd.
Absolutely.
You need to find your audience. You need to keep finding your crowd, and your crowd is out there, and the internet has made it better than ever for us to find our audience. And if you think something's dope, other people will think it's dope too, because humans are more similar than different.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what I believe.
Yeah, I feel that on a whole. Like, people don't realize how similar they actually are.
Right.
It's like you think, you know, you have a problem or an issue, you're like, oh, I'm the only one in the world that feels like this. Yeah, and it's just like, no, there's like 15 other people dealing with the exact same thing right now.
15,000.
And, you know, you can talk to them if you just open your mouth sometimes.
Absolutely.
So let's take a break.
I'm not broke, I'm pretty rich. There's a difference. Hey yo, the sky ain't the limit, there's no limit at all. You better pick up the phone when fate give you a call. Change your mind, change your life. Take a wrong, make it right. Take your time when you write and make a song every night. Watch me make a change, just give me a couple years. I can reach the world's ears with this microphone here. One day I'll be at the Ritz making noise in this bitch. I wear the shoe cause it fits. I'm not broke, I'm free rich. That's right. Not broke, I'm free rich. It's a difference in perspective. I'm not good yet, but I know where I'm headed.